The United States is on the brink of war with Iran, as the stage has been set with the USS Gerald R. Ford carrier group in place. Now, of course, the question is asked, what are we even doing here? Why is the United States applying such a massive pressure campaign against Iran in order to basically make this deal, even though everybody is hoping for a regime change or a collapse of the current regime so revolutionaries can actually have freedom? Now, of course, that is the end goal, and that's actually what started all of this, or rather, an economic collapse in Iran's currency started all this. But we are fast forward, 2 months now, and here we are with the largest amount of U.S. forces in the Middle East since the invasion of Iraq. On top of that, you have other coalition forces in the area. The British are actually sending their fighter jets, or have sent their fighter jets, to Israel to maybe conduct defensive positioning. And so there is assistance from, I believe, the French and British forces as well, maybe from a defensive posture. And because the United States is practicing strong information security and information deception tactics and operations, it's really anyone's guess as to what Trump is going to do, what exactly that's going to look like, if anything at all. Now, basically, the Trump administration has seized on the weakness of Iran as an opportunity, or rather the weakness of the IRGC as an opportunity to get further concessions out of this regime in the way of dismantling their nuclear program and subsequently dismantling or severely curtailing their ballistic missile capability. And you could also add the dismantling of the proxy groups as well, or at least supporting them. And so those are basically the three items on the table as far as the Trump administration is concerned. Now, the IRGC could agree to one or all of these things, and that might suffice for the Trump administration so long as there's actual action behind it. Of course, we would maintain our force readiness posture in the area to ensure that they are not just words. That could be an outcome. But just in case it's not, is the reason why we are positioning our forces the way we are. We do not want to come to a place where we do not agree and then we don't exercise military action until days or weeks later. We want to be in a position to where if they do not come to an agreement that Trump is good with, that we then immediately switch into military action, giving them zero ability to either react or conduct a preemptive attack. As a preemptive attack is one of those scenarios. One of the concerns out there right now is that Iran will basically be able to tell that this isn't going to go their way and just go ahead and start launching their ballistic missiles and basically start the war, kick off the war prematurely. Now, if we do go in for military strikes, again, it's anybody's guess as to what level and complexity those strikes are going to look like. Maybe it will only target the two requirements out of the three from the Trump administration. Maybe it will only target all of the nuclear facilities that we've identified and all the ballistic missile sites that we have on our target list. And, of course, you would have to add, command and control and power and fuel support to all those objectives. And we could honestly consider that like a limited strike. And then depending on how tight and rapid our collection and targeting cycle is, we could actually preempt their ability to conduct any kind of counterattack at any kind of scale. That's not to say they wouldn't be able to get a barrage of missiles off the ground or conduct some sort of counterattack, but it could be severely curtailed depending on how good our collections and targeting is in preparation for that eventuality. Now, I also want to address all the suspected sabotage that is occurring across Iran, basically operations that are being conducted just below the threshold of armed conflict. Many people suspect that it's Mossad or protesters or a hybrid that is basically attacking missile sites and IRGC bases, a few here and there, but significant nonetheless. And this is them basically preparing the battle space, seeking out targets of opportunity to further curtail Iran's ability to conduct any kind of meaningful attack or counterattack. And I also want to address the worst case scenario where Iran just basically launches all their missiles and has all of their activates all their proxies. This activation of their proxies is a tired and ridiculous talking point. They didn't activate their proxies when the 12-day war occurred because they couldn't. Israel had been spending many months dismantling each proxy to the point where they didn't want to engage Israel because, one, they couldn't, and two, they were probably afraid to. And right now, Israel is engaging Hezbollah again, and they have been over these last couple weeks. And there's no version where there's a group of warriors ready to stand up and just take on Israel through the proxies. They have been largely dismantled, and they need to stay that way. And for people to act like that they're just all these hardened warriors ready to all in a combined attack on Israel are somehow going to happen or in any way be successful. Now, when a possible attack is going to occur is, again, anyone's guess, as no one really knows what Trump is going to do. There have been reports of GPS jamming going up around Tehran and a large part of Iran, but some suspect that is being done by the IRGC. And there have been other reports of evacuation notices. And, pre-staging of defensive capabilities has been ongoing, and apparently there was a lot of aerial refuelers that have left Al Udeid, and nobody really knows where they went. And you can suspect obviously various areas in the region. And so it could be both in the pre-dawn hours of Iran, which will be in about, 5 hours from now. Or it could be sometime Saturday night. It could be never. And that's the thing, is that nobody really knows. Now, Marco Rubio is scheduled to be in, I think, Israel on Monday. So, of course, he would get there, I think, Sunday. And so people think that they wouldn't conduct an attack if the Secretary of State is there. But you honestly never know. That still might be some misdirection. So, again, we just have to wait and see what Trump is going to do, because no one really knows. In one saved round, the IRGC, or rather the Iranian military, is not well trained. They are not some well-equipped, well-trained military fighting force that will just give us a run for our money or whatever. They are barely trained, maybe equivalent to our Army boot camp, and that's just basic training, guys. Their ability to conduct support by fire missions is about the extent, and I'm talking static support by fire, not maneuver warfare type stuff. It's just, there is no reality where we should be fearing their military as far as like going toe-to-toe conventional warfare type thing. That's fantasy. So just don't believe in that, please. It's garbage.